Oh my God, what the hell is this? He's gonna try it! And will this be enough? Hogan takes him out! 2,
Hey, what's up, people? Welcome again to another edition of Ruckus Wrestling. I'm one half of the normal team here, Justin Toner. My tag team partner in crime, Josh Mayberry, could not be here this evening. He's got family commitments, so we were fortunate enough to get another Josh to take his place. Not permanently, of course, but we're very happy that our good friend from our friends at the Finstock Sports Network and Real Talk Wrestling could join us on the show. One of the co-hosts, Mr. Josh Kimmel. Josh, thanks for joining me this evening to talk wrestling. How you doing?
Good, man. Good. Yes. Thanks for having me. First time guest. This is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna talk all in. Can't wait. I did.
Yeah.
Am I the bottom of the? Am I the literally last person you called though?
No.
You don't have to tell me. You don't have to tell me. It's fine. I get it. I understand.
No, don't feel that way. No. It's like, well, Bobby wasn't available. It's like no. It's like
No, Bobby's lame, bro. He doesn't even watch AEW. Man. I'm gonna tell him.
I know. That's it's like he used to watch a little AEW a little more. I mean, it's not perfect, but there's still like good stuff there. But yeah, so we got a lot to talk about. So let's get into it. We're going to go over a little bit of quick little bit of news, and then we'll get into the AEW All-In pay-per-view on Sunday. So start off with sad news. Unfortunately, we lost another wrestling legend from our childhood growing up. Sid Udy, better known as Sid Vicious, Sid Justice, Psycho Sid. He fortunately passed away due to cancer at the age of 63, which is a really unfortunate. It's really young. Left behind 2 kids and grandkids and wife. This one kind of caught people by surprise. There was word that he wasn't doing well, but nobody really kind of knew, I guess, except for some people, that he was fighting cancer for the last few years, apparently. And so unfortunately he lost the battle. I remember him. It's like I didn't watch him because he started in WCW in the late 80s into the early 90s. He was a member of the Four Horsemen for a while, and then he jumped over to WWF for a bit, known as Sid Justice. Had the feud with Hogan that led to him and Hogan at the main event of WrestleMania 8. Then he went back to WCW for a bit again, and he and Arn Anderson got into a famous fight that left both of them with multiple stab wounds, and he got fired as a result. And so he worked in some other promotions, including ECW for a bit. Then he went back to WWF again for a while. It was Psycho Sid, won the title a couple times. Got to main event WrestleMania, faced The Undertaker. And then after that, he left WWF again, went back to WCW again one more time. Unfortunately, during the really bad years, especially the Russo and Bischoff run time from 91 all the way pretty much almost to the end. He probably would have been there at the end, but unfortunately, during a pay-per-view match, he infamously brutally broke his leg during the middle of a match. It was really gruesome. I remember watching that. I was just like, ugh. That's like you don't want to see an injury like that live. It was not pretty. And that pretty much, unfortunately, effectively ended his career. He did do occasional matches here and there over the years, but he was never he never worked full time again after breaking his leg. But he was very memorable to me. I always thought he was really cool. I mean, he was nearly 7 foot tall. He just had this aura and presence about him. He's cut some wild promos. I mean, almost like Ultimate Warrior kind of crazy level kind of stuff, but much more coherent in my opinion. Do you remember watching Sid back in the day? What are your thoughts about him in his career?
Yeah, Sid was always energetic to me, crazy, a monster. Didn't really buy into. Buy-in's the wrong word because you buy into him as a monster, heel, crazy, psychopath.
Yeah.
Didn't really invest, couldn't relate to him. And it's hard for me to relate to monsters, whether it be Umaga or him or any other Bronson Reed at the moment right now, Braun Strowman, any kind of monster. I can't relate to him. I can't buy into their characters. But Sid was different because Sid brought the intensity in the ring. And unfortunately, I'm a little bit too young to know his old stuff or like to watch it. Of course, I didn't watch it live, but I was fortunate enough to see him in WCW a few times. Didn't really watch WWF at the time. But every time I saw him, he caught my eye. Looked like a superstar. Had the look.
Oh yeah.
He could work. Unfortunately, that leg break. I remember watching that too. It was awful.
Yeah.
Like Joe Theismann ish. I was like,
Yeah.
really bad. I didn't know. And this is gonna sound awful, and I'm sorry if I offend somebody, and I'm sorry if I'm coming on your show and I thought he had already passed. I'm not even kidding. I'm like, wait a minute. I thought he passed already, and that's sad. That's sad because in our world of the wrestling fandom, it's very normal for our heroes or our warriors, the people that we look up to and watch, pass early. And I'm like, wait, he didn't pass already? And then I read what happened. I'm like, damn, that's even worse. Like cancer. It's the worst.
Yeah. F cancer for sure. Yeah, it's been rough because we lost a lot of like big names already this year. Like both the Wild Simones just recently passed, and then we lose, Sid. Yeah, he was different for big men. He was he could really work well. He was very agile for a guy his size, very athletic. I mean, it's like not many guys you can see that big can easily do a kip up off the bat. It's like I think that's like Drew McIntyre doing it feels like I always felt like when Drew McIntyre does it's like a nod to Sid because of how easy he can do it. And Drew's pretty big himself, so. But yeah, he had some really memorable moments. I mean, like one of the more ones I remember most are although I wasn't watching at the time, I've seen the infamous War Games match from '91 where he was trying to powerbomb Brian Pillman and he partially botched it. And his feet got kind of like messed up with the top of the War Games cage, and he dropped him literally on top of his head, almost broke his neck. But there was like a miscommunication. He tried to do the same spot again and literally knocked Brian Pillman out cold and injured him. And so like one of the wrestlers in the back had to run out to throw in the flag so that the babyface lost the match. So thankfully he didn't get more seriously hurt, but it was just like, if you look back at it and you watch the footage from that match, you're just like, yikes. It's like, it's amazing. He didn't like break his neck or something. Yeah. But then of course the other people that a lot of people brought about that people remember is his Survivor Series main event from 1996 against Shawn Michaels for the WWE title, where even though he was supposed to be the heel and Shawn was the face, the fans were rooting for Sid to beat Shawn because they were basically tired of Shawn as the babyface champ at this point. They were like the crowd was definitely starting to turn on him, and MSG crowd is very infamous for being very fickle. And I mean, they literally cheered when he like hit like his mentor Jose Lothario. It was like he's like it's like that shows you how it's like I was like I remember watching it, I was like, oh wow. And then it's like that when he beat, it's like he hits him with a camera, Shawn with a camera, and then power bombs and pins and wins the title, and he gets like a mega pop. It was wild. So he definitely had a lot of memorable moments, and definitely going to be remembered very well. I'm surprised he wasn't even ever went into the Hall of Fame before this. So I think they're definitely. I think Triple H correct that he's going to go into the Hall next year. So I think it's a lock
easily.
So condolences to his family. It's like another legend lost. It sucks. Another news blurb that a friend of mine passed along to me. I wasn't aware of this, but because I don't really follow indie promotions very closely, but apparently this indie promotion that operates out of Massachusetts called Beyond Wrestling. There was an incident a couple months ago back in June where they ended up having to fire one of their executive producers for comments he made online. I'm going to bring up the screenshot of the tweet that he put out that got him fired. And when you understand the context, you understand why here. So let me bring that up here real quick. It's pretty not good. I mean, it's like there was a show upcoming, and he like basically retweeted the tweet about it and said this comment. for some years, that ugly bald guy in a dress won't be ruining my hard cam shot, because he was basically in charge of the camera stuff. Turns out that person he was referring to was transgender, and so people saw that and they immediately were like what the f. And not long after that, they released a statement where they said they suspended him indefinitely. And of course, this was his response too, which didn't help matters either. This was back in June.
Wow.
So, yeah. So, and then he tried to apologize, saying that he didn't mean it. It was supposed to be a joke. He didn't really mean that. It was like to
Sure,
look at that stuff. It's like, yeah, right, dude.
Yeah.
No, it's like I think your intentions are really clear what you were saying here. It's like that kind of talking behavior is just like should not be tolerated. But apparently, word got out just within the last week or two that the guy was rehired even after he was fired. So it's like, dude, really, like, I don't understand why. Like, look, this kind of stuff is easy to deal with. Because someone makes comments like that, they did the right thing in getting rid of him. Absolutely. But then, like, to wait a while till things calm down and then quietly like rehire the guy without anybody noticing, that's really scummy behavior. So it's like thumbs down on this Beyond Wrestling promotion for if this is true, because it's like you got to do better. It's like you can't tolerate that kind of talk. It's like it's completely unacceptable. To treat people. Treat especially fans of your supposed to be fans of your promotion that way, and then to kind of like just like act like you're trying to do the right thing, but then like it's like I don't know, maybe they believed his apology and stuff and they decided to rehire him, but it's like this is really troubling behavior. It's like, and it's unfortunate to hear. So I wanted to put a little spotlight on it, and so hopefully. Like they seem to be being ignored. They're not even acknowledging what some of the people are saying online about like, yo, it's like, is this true? Is this true? So like, why did you hire this guy back? It's like after what he did. It's like, and of course they're not saying anything. So it's really unfortunate to hear in this day and age.
It is. And it happens in all walks of life and in any company. I can't go to my real job and say something like that. You just can't. In a day and age where it's 2024, everyone's seeing everyone, you're on social media. Just don't be stupid. Just don't say like that's on the professional wrestler for saying something stupid. It's on the company for bringing him back. This dumb plus dumb equals more dumb.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like hopefully other companies will do better. I mean, it's like if one of the top promotions like WWE, AEW, or TNA mishandled something like this would be all over the internet. It's like it's like it's like they'd be hounded. But it's just because it's like an indie promotion, it's these are small time. Well, it's not getting a lot of attention. So
no one knows who that guy was, and nobody still does. Nobody cares who that is, because why? I don't want to bring controversies to your network, but you know why? Nobody cares. Nobody's gonna call this guy out, because if I call this guy out or you call this guy out or anyone, no one's gonna care. Now, if it was like a Triple H or someone big,
right.
Oh yeah, because they want to. It's that mob mentality. Let's pile on this guy. Let's pile on this person. But nobody cares.
No, you have a good point. It's because it's like an indie promotion. That's why it's not getting a lot of attention. Like what happened originally, it made like the Observer website. It was it's like I found the article where they're like they went through the whole thing and they posted like showed what he did and everything. So it made news, but the fact that apparently he got rehired or something, that's like just being completely ignored. So no, it's because it's an indie promotion. It's not big time. That's why it's like it's not getting the attention that it should, and that's unfortunate. So so wrestling companies out there, please do better in policing this kind of bullshit. So please. All right, so let's get to something more positive. Let's talk about the AEW All-In pay-per-view from Sunday. So once again, AEW goes back to Wembley Stadium for a second year in a row for another show. Wow, they had like a 2-hour pre-show that started at 11 a.m. Eastern time, because the main card started at 1 Eastern time for us here on the East Coast, like me and Josh. So this was like so between the 2-hour pre-show and then the 4-hour show itself, that's like 6 hours of wrestling, because there was matches on the pre-show. Now I'm not going to go over all the matches in the pre-show because most of them were not important whatsoever in the process. One thing I do want to talk about in the pre-show, there was kind of one important thing. The Willow Nightingale and Tomohiro Ishii versus Stokely Hathaway and Chris Statlander mixed tag match. That was the only thing that was kind of important because whoever won that could decide the stipulation for the title match for the CML women's title that's going to happen at the All Out pay-per-view next weekend. And the Baby Faces won that. So what stipulation Willow picked, we'll get to that when we get to Dynamite because that's when she announced that. But the one thing that happened on the pay-per-view that should have been talked about more, but what I think was forgotten about because it happened on the pre-show and it shouldn't, was the return of Jamie Hayter, former AEW Women's World Champion, who's been out for 15 months, over a year, since we last saw her in the ring. She got some kind of like serious shoulder injury. She dropped the title to Toni Storm. She actually wrestled injured, which, it's like, it's like you kind of cringe when wrestlers want to do that, but it's like, I gotta respect her wanting to be like, no, I don't want to just vacate the title. I want to drop it to her. It's like,
Yep.
So, and so she's been out for a long time, and there's been no word for a long time of like, how's she doing? It's like, when's she coming back? There was whispers that as we were getting closer to All In that maybe she was about to come back because she's from England. That's her backyard. It would make perfect sense to have her return at All In Wembley, especially because of her injury. She missed All In last year in Wembley, which had to have probably sucked for her, So they have her come back on the pre-show of all places. It's like, all right, first of all, I get the segment. It's like Saraya comes out and is throwing a hissy fit because she didn't get a match on the show where she was in the women's world title match last year and won it in front of her home country and her family who are from England. It made sense. And then Jamie Hayter coming out, also makes sense because the Outcasts, Saraya and the Outcasts were the reason she got injured. In storyline purposes, they said the injury was a result of them attacking her before the title match she had with Tony at the pay-per-view. So storyline wise, they were responsible for putting her on the shelf for this long. So even though Tony and Ruby Soho are no longer part of the Outcast, it's like it's Saraya with a whole new crew at this point. It made sense that she would come after Saraya as payback. But it's like, Tony, what are you doing? It's like, this should not have been on the pre-show. This is one of your most popular and best women's wrestlers who has been sorely missed. You have her return not on the main show, on the pre-show. It's like you could have easily done this whole little segment in between two matches on the main show.
Yes.
And exactly. It's like, why did you do this on the pre-show? I was when I found out about because I only got to watch I have to show live because I was spending time with family. It's like family comes first. My niece and nephew were visiting. Mm-hmm. I got to spend time with them. And so I was, I'm in a message thread with friends who are also wrestling fans. And some of my friends were watching the show and literally like, Jamie Hayter's back. I'm like, wait, what? And I looked at the time. I'm like, wait a minute. It's not even 1:00 Eastern time yet. The show hasn't started. I was like, what? I was like, on the pre-show? He's like, yeah. I was like, oh my God.
Yep.
I literally was like this. Like, you ever seen the Picard facepalm meme? That's how I felt. I was like, are you kidding me? This was one of my big knocks against the show. Not many, but this was like pretty egregious. It's like, Tony, what the hell were you thinking having her return on the pre-show, not during the main show? I mean,
well,
especially with what was coming later with you got Ospreay and MGF and Swerve and Danielson getting all the hype and attention. And also the two women's title matches were also people looking forward to just because of who was facing off and especially the storyline build with Mariah May and Toni Storm. You have this happen. It's like, dude, it's like, what a fumble this was.
Biggest fumble in a while from Tony. How much of this do you blame on Britt in the rumors? And
so that's the thing is like, because people like me, when I heard that she might come back, I was like, okay, well, especially I was thinking that when Camille showed up as Mercedes Diesel to her Shawn Michaels as her muscle, I was thinking, okay, Britt's outnumbered. We're coming to All In. If the rumors are true, if Jamie Hayter's ready to come back, it makes perfect sense that she'd come back to back Britt up, because their history is friends, back her up to neutralize Camille, give her a shot to be able to beat Mercedes.
Yeah.
And so then that's when I was really confused. Like, wait a minute, why is she coming on the pre-show? Why are you not? And then
Yes.
this is not confirmed. It's like the rumors are that Jamie Hayter and Britt had a falling out. They're not very close anymore. And so if that's true, it would make sense why he decided to do another angle to have her return on. But seriously, even if that's true, and because that's unfortunate, but you still should have had the whole segment with Saraya and Jamie Hayter happen during the main show and not on the pre-show. Because because people don't really pay attention to the pre-show. It's
here's my defense to the whole situation. There's no defending it. I think it's awful because last year All In was ruined because of one person, two people decided to fight in the back. It was ruined. That took over everything.
Yeah, the Punk and Jack Perry incident that led to Punk getting fired.
And we know Tony Khan isn't the best at separating people, working out problems. He delegates everything to a staff of people. He's even admitted that he delegates the committee, who are the whatever the committee those people are.
The disciplinary.
There we go. So maybe he thought in his mind, okay, well, we want Jamie to come back, and we have Britt here. I don't want another situation on my biggest show of the year. So how about we say, hey, Britt, don't show up until this time. Don't show up to work until this time. And Jamie, you're showing up early, but you got to leave. So that's why they did. Because if you got to think, look, that match was between that debut and that match, that was 5 hours in between. Yeah. That was pre-show, and Mercedes and Britt went, I think, third to last.
Yes.
So it could be a totally situation where he's like, I just don't want any conflicts. I don't want the same thing to happen again. Not that it would happen, but again, what does that tell you of the state of AEW where you can't even have professionals come to work without problems? And it's been going on for years with Andrade and Sammy Guevara,
Sammy's had numerous incidents.
Yes.
It's like he only just recently got to come back after where he fucked up the movement on Jeff Hardy in a match earlier this year, and he was off TV for months as a result of that botch.
And this is just too many problems, and I'm not blaming Britt or Tony, but I'm saying it's something to look out for. And you're right. They should have got rid of maybe 3 matches on this card, in my opinion. And you could have added a segment like this in between a match for cooldown purposes, like they did with Jelly Roll over in the WWE. Because they know how to format a show.
Like that whole segment with Jelly Roll at SummerSlam. That was just to kill time in between.
Cool people
matches,
down.
It's like
yeah.
So it's just like I'm glad she's back though. I've been a big fan of hers. She's she looks great. She definitely slimmed down a bit. She's not as not as bulky she was. She's definitely lost some weight, maybe a little muscle, but she looks in fantastic shape, and she looked really good on Dynamite against Harley Cameron. So it's a good thing that she's back. But yeah, it's like totally botched her return. But all right, so let's get to the main card here. So we kicked off the show with the ladder match, 4-way ladder match for the trios titles. We had the Patriarchy defending against the House of Black, the Bang Bang Gang, and the this team up only happened because I think the Lucha Brothers are on their way out to WWE. Pac teaming up with the Blackpool Combat Club of all people, and Wheeler Yuta and Claudio. I thought this match was fine. I think it was entertaining for what it was. It got the job done. It got the crowd excited. It got fired up. I was really surprised though that Pac and the Combat Club won the trios titles, but again, it makes sense. They wanted to give Pac a one-day moment because he's also from England. This is his home country, so he gets to have a big moment where it's like he gets to win a championship in his home country and in front of a big crowd. So I get it. It's just a little weird because this team was only recently put together, and it's like they're the champions now.
Yeah.
But I get why they did that. So I thought the match was fine. It's like it was a good way to open the show, I thought.
Yeah, it just, to me, I'm numb to ladder matches. And guys, if you're still watching, if you're seeing me for the first time, this is me. I like to look at what did wrong, and it sucks. I need to change my mindset. But honestly, what happened in this match? What I see
It
in
didn't
during
have any
matches.
like memorable. Like there were some cool spots, but there was nothing like memorable.
Well, where do we go from here? After a match, I like to go with Mariah May. We know where we're going. We kind of know where we're going.
Yeah.
With Bryan Daniel, where are we going after this match? Or was it a meaningless match?
Yeah, like I agree with you. It's like okay, like it, and we're not going to be a bit because right now, because Pac is getting a title shot against Ospreay at All Out next weekend, so that's his focus right now. After that, they'll probably have to cook up some feud for him and the BCC for the trios title. So we'll see, but it was fine. So then we got one of the matches I was looking forward to because of the whole build up all these months, the storyline. AEW Women's title match. Timeless Tony Storm defending against Mariah May. No surprise here, Mariah May won the title. I liked the storytelling in this match. I thought it was a really good match. It wasn't like the best match on the show, but I really like some of the storytelling here they told in this match. I like the moment where she tried to like steal the title belt to use as a weapon behind the ref's back, and Luther took it and just like flipped her off. I thought that was a great moment. It was a very interesting finish where Tony had her like dead to rights, was going to like bash her head in with a shoe, but she hesitated, and that ended up costing her the match. Timeless Tony's title reign comes to an end. It makes sense. They've been building up Mariah for a while, and Tony honestly, I'm really glad this happened. That I'm a big Tony Storm fan. I've been a fan of her ever since I saw her on NXT years ago. And I felt like she got done dirty with her first two title reigns, which were criminally short and horribly booked. This run as Timeless Tony Storm really saved her time so far in AEW for me because this character has been a home run. Props to both her and the people who helped her cook her up. Apparently, RJ City's been had a lot of input into the character and also the whole storyline with Mariah May. And so props to him for coming up with a lot of good ideas for this character. She got way over with the fans. She was starting to heel. She got so over that they had to turn her babyface because the fans love this character. So just like you said, so now the question is, all right, so Mariah May wins the title. Well, we'll see. She's probably going to get an opponent sometime soon. But the big question is, where does Timeless Tony go from here? Is she going to remain Timeless Tony? Is there going to be a change? Is she going to go back to old Tony? What are you feeling here? Because she definitely took like the loss very hard. And like they showed footage of her kind of like just like wandering out of the arena. Like, like she's kind of like almost like lost. Like, I don't know what to do. Yeah.
I think she is going to remain timeless because it works so well and it fits her character and she does such a good job with it. Now that she's a true on baby face. Well, she's been a baby face for the past month since that turn. But now that she's a full on baby face, I'm intrigued to see what she's going to do moving forward. Is she going to continue feuding with Mariah? Does she go somewhere else? The problem with women's wrestling in general, and it's awesome when they do it well, usually the feuds are booked around the title. So if you're not going for the title, you're not really important. You're not really booked on the show. And I'm worried for Tony for that because we've seen Tony Khan, lose interest with a person and then someone else is his new favorite shiny toy.
Exactly.
So I'm really worried.
To the shiny toy analogy when it comes to Tony Khan. So
he
has a bad tendency with that.
And what can she do from here? Like, what feud do you see her going to that would make you intrigued? It's title or nothing, right?
I eventually see her going at her and Mercedes clashing because it made sense that when they brought Mercedes in, she went to the TBS title and not the world title because they wanted to keep her away from Tony.
Yep.
They wanted to keep that separate because that's a money feud right there. Yep. And plus, if she went after Tony would have to lose title. She was at that point when Mercedes showed up earlier this year, she was not ready to drop the title anytime soon. Nope. So that would have been a huge mistake if they did that. So it made sense that they gave Mercedes a TBS title, gave her the other women's title, let Tony have a good run with the women's world title. I definitely see her and Tony clashing. I don't know if they're going to do that anytime soon. They might have Mercedes go through some other people, but I could definitely see because I think they could have a banger match. Those two,
Banger story too, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because it'll be interesting to see how Mercedes handles the timeless Tony because she's because of how out there she is. It's like so we'll see. It's like hopefully they're going to keep it going. I think there's a lot more mileage in the character for her before she even maybe like go back to being another version of Tony and not timeless. So I'm all for keeping the character on for a little bit longer, as long as they come up with a good storyline for it. So
don't waste her, Tony. Don't waste Tony.
Yeah, don't waste Tony. All right, then we had one of the garbage matches on the show, in my opinion. I was not looking forward to this. I've hated this storyline. I hate the learning tree. I've hated this whole feud. Do not give an F about it whatsoever. Hook versus Chris Jericho for the FTW title. No surprise, Hook won. The only thing I liked about this match was Taz finally getting off commentary and slapping the Taz mission on Brian Keith. I marked out for that as a person who's loved Taz since his ECW days. It was nice seeing him slap a Taz mission, choking a guy out. That was cool. That was a cool moment. Other than that, did not care about Snaps. It's like, ugh.
Everything Jericho touches fails. Jericho needs to hang it up. He won't. He's too arrogant, too egotistical to do it. And it sucks because he's my favorite wrestler of all time.
Yeah. It's like I'm an OG Jericho-holic, man. I've been a fan of his ever since I saw him in his WCW days before he saw the writing on the wall that he wasn't going to be able to go out of the mid card and jumped over to WWF where he became a star.
Jericho got me into wrestling. Like he's the reason why I like wrestling, because when I watched WCW, I wasn't watching for Goldbergs and I wasn't watching for Kevin Nash's. I was watching for him and Juventud. And it's like,
you had was the best man of 1,002 hold armbar.
Yeah.
Such good stuff.
So he went from all of that greatness, and even his early days in AEW was great, right? The little bit of the bubbly, like he had great ideas, great stuff. And recently, the past year, maybe year and a half, it's just fallen off ever since the Inner Circle. When he did the Jericho Appreciation Society, that's when it's like, okay, dude, we're done.
That got it. That I didn't like that because it was such an obvious pot shot at WWE and sports entertainment. I did not like that whole shtick with the JAS. And it's like, ever since the Inner Circle, probably since his feud with Orange, it's kind of been like he's been involved in a lot of stuff that just really hasn't like held my interest, and it hurts because it's like I'm always gonna love Jericho. He's always gonna be one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, and it's like, and I appreciate everything he's done for business. He's a legend, but he needs to go away for a while. He needs to take a break, go on a tour with Fozzy, get off TV for a while. But you're right, he's fired back at the criticism online and stuff like that, and it's like I get it. He's trying to defend what he's doing, but it's like, dude, it's just not working. When you got people chanting for you to go away, that's not good. It's like it's not good at all. So thankfully this match wasn't too long.
Yes.
So then we had one of the other disappointing matches for me on this card. Tag team title match, Young Bucks versus FTR versus The Acclaim. This match could have been really good. It was fine. It was not a bad match, but it was not a great match. And it's really disappointing when you got one of my favorite tag teams of all time in FTR and two other really good tag teams in The Acclaimed and the Bucks. And it's like, this whole thing was such a mess, and you could tell like the crowd was only got into it like later on near it was like when things got crazy, but there wasn't a lot of heat for this match because this should have been just The Acclaimed versus the Young Bucks, because that's what they've been building up for. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they create this beef between The Acclaimed and FTR, and then draw FTR into this to make it a triple threat. I think for the only reason just to have FTR job on a pay-per-view again, because it's like, I'm sorry, it's like I love FTR, but it feels like Tony is like just turned him into the jobber squad ever since Punk left. It's like it feels like it's like if I didn't know him better, I'd swear he's like still punishing them for being buddies with CM Punk.
When Cash did this, The show after Punk was fired, that was it. You remember that, right?
Yeah.
They came out doing this, and that was it. I'm like, oh, they're done. They're done. They're done. Tony's pettiness is going to bury them.
The only thing that can save him is when Edge comes back, because Edge and them are really tight, like they are with Punk. Yeah. He's probably the only one who could probably vouch for them and get them out of the doghouse.
Yep.
Because it feels like they've been in the doghouse ever since Punk left.
Yeah, they have, but they have been. That's the truth. Let's go talk about. I want to talk about like storyline wise, wrestling wise, though. No, not more. No more personal stuff on this feud.
Yeah.
So think about this. What's been the story with the Young Bucks for the past 6 months? They're the bosses. They're EVPs. They have pulled.
Yeah.
Why, as a champion, you're the champion and you're a heel and you have power.
Yeah.
Why would you even allow this to become a triple threat match to begin with? You have pull. It's very wishy-washy with their line of who has pull. You got on Dynamite, hey, I know Tony's in your ear. Have him make this match. Okay, so Tony only books for the baby faces apparently, and the EVPs only, the Matthew and Nicholas, they only book for the heels.
Yeah, how far their power extends to this point is not been made clear because Tony's still up top, and then I guess above the Bucks and below Tony is Christopher Daniels, who is basically standing in for Kenny Omega while Kenny's out.
Yep.
As the EVP.
It's very unclear on who's the real boss. Who do we go to make matches? Who is going to we see Christopher Daniels on that pay-per-view giving a title to somebody, or I forgot what he did. It's just a mess.
He gave Ospreay the international title back because he's like, I don't want that fucking American title belt.
The MAGA belt. That belt's nice, by the way. I like that belt. I wish they would have kept that belt because the international
I kind of wish they did too.
International and the Continental are literally the same thing. This is to me, maybe I'm ignorant, but it's the same thing to me.
Yeah, there's a little too much similarity between the International and the Continental. It's like that's why I was like, when the Continental was great, I was like, Tony, do you really need another mid card title at this point? It's
too much.
Too much. Yeah, it's like this was disappointing. It's like these guys can't have a bad match, but it wasn't a great match. It's unless they're setting this up that they claim they're just going to get one more shot and win the titles, I don't see the point of it. Because
I just didn't care.
That's another team that's been done dirty for quite a while too. It's like they claimed we're red hot, and they put the titles on him. They were super over,
and
then they cut their tag title reign short, gave them to the Guns out of nowhere, and just killed their momentum. And the fans still love them, but they're not as over as they were.
They were mega over, man, and then they got destroyed, but for no reason. I don't understand it. Tony does this all the time.
Yeah, and they gave him the trios title so that they could have the championship reign with Billy, but it's like there was no excitement over it. It's like they just had them. It's like
they made custom belts.
Yeah, it's like
they sold one trio set and it made up for everything. That's all.
Yeah. All right, then we had the Casino Gauntlet match. Winner gets a title shot anytime, anywhere, pretty much like a Money in the Bank situation. I'm really starting to like the Casino Gauntlet. It's like once you understand the rules and the format, I think it's a really nice take on the Rumble. And there's a lot of unpredictability where because it's one pinfall only, it could end at any time. Even though there's supposed to be X number of wrestlers in it, you might not all see them because the match could end at any moment. It's like once someone scores a pinfall submission, it's over. They win the title shot. So that adds some excitement to what's going to happen. I think I thought this was the best one they did yet. I liked how this was booked because especially also they put some star power into this. They threw Okada in there. They had Jeff Jarrett. Nigel McGuinness was an awesome surprise.
Yeah, it was.
I was blown away. Been a fan of Nigel for a long time. If you know Nigel's story about how he was forced into retirement in his prime, before it's like he was considered on the level of Bryan Danielson, but he never got a chance to get to the top because of either injuries, and he also came down with hepatitis B at one point. So it's like his career got snake bitten at the worst possible time.
Yeah,
and he decided to hang it up, and he's been doing commentary work ever since. So this was awesome for him to be able to get back in the ring one more time in front of his home country. That reaction when he came out was awesome. It's like he got the mega pop. It's like
it was special.
It was a really special moment for him. I was really happy for him. Love Nigel. And then of course, as pretty much everybody predicted when the word that Ricochet had signed, Ricochet came out during the Gauntlet match. Right way to debut him. He got a big reaction. Got to look awesome. Mm-hmm. I liked how the match was and everything. My problem was the finish. Why the F do you have Christian win this match? I thought Hangman was going to win this match.
Everyone thought that.
And
everyone.
Yeah, it's like, look, I love Christian. I've been a fan of his for a long time, ever since his days in WWE, the Brood, Agent Christian, all that stuff. His heel work those last 2 years have been absolutely stellar. Some of the best heel work you could ask for. But he's already had a shot against the world title recently. And now he's got a Money in the Bank style shot that he can use anytime, anywhere. It's like, I don't understand this. Unless they come up with a really good storyline reason. It's like, now he's going to be lurking over, who's trying to maybe steal the title. Because, like, they could easily have him cash in at the right moment, beat Danielson, not only take the title, but also he'll be like, not only am I world heavyweight champion, I retired Bryan Danielson, bitch. It's like, it's like, I'm like, it's like, that depends on the work. I don't know. But I loved the match, did not like the finish. It's like
the finish is almost everything to most people because that's what you remember the most.
Right.
And I think people are going to remember this going, man, that really stunk that Christian Cage or Christian won.
It deflated the crowd. You could tell the crowd was like completely deflated that he won the match.
You get this situation with Luchasaurus. I refuse to call him Kill Switch. It's the dumbest name of all time.
How much longer is he going to take being Christian's bitch? Seriously.
Here's the thing: is when he came out stomping down, everyone's like, "Oh my god!" I'm like,
"He's finally going to turn on him."
No, I didn't think that at all. I'm like, "Oh, this."
Some people did. I didn't think so.
Oh, this is going to continue. This is awful. I'm like, but I didn't think he was going to win. Mm-hmm. I thought, okay, Luchasaurus and Christian are about to destroy a bunch of people, and then we'll get the real winner come out, or maybe Paige will win. But no, it was just boom, chokeslam, done. I'm like, that is the most deflating ending to an important match you could think of.
Yeah, exactly.
It's on the level of giving Otis the Money in the Bank championship to me.
Oh yeah, it feels like that right now. It's like, and how they handle him using the title shot and what happens may change my mind, but right now, not thrilled. Let
me tell you this: the most disappointing debut in AEW history was Christian. Because at that time Tony was putting out banger debuts. It was Christian. Remember that reaction? Yeah. But he's been proven to be probably the most beneficial.
He's been one of the most best heels. Only it's like he's like right behind MJF in heel work.
Yes, he is.
Like his heel work is like top notch.
Yeah, he's up there with I would dare say Drew. And the other guys.
What Drew's done this past year, he's been outstanding.
Christian's up there. It's just nobody's watching, especially because he's on Collision.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. He's on Collision with Charlie. It's like I don't even watch Collision all the time. It's like unless there's like some matches on there, I totally skip Rampage. Rampage is just like a nothing show.
Yeah, you don't watch Rampage. Nobody watches Rampage. Not even people that are on Rampage watch Rampage.
So cool match, disappointing finish. All right, let's get to one of the best matches on the show that really helped start kicking the show up a notch. Will Ospreay versus MJF for the American title, aka international title. I was hyped for this match, and this match delivered. I wouldn't say it's better than the almost hour insane match they had on Dynamite last month that set the stage for this. But this was still like a really fucking awesome match. I love the storytelling in this. MJF coming out with the whole pomp and circumstance. Even had the nod to like U.S. Express Lex Luger tights on. Mm-hmm. Someone pointed out and I didn't realize it. I was thinking, huh, that design's kind of familiar. And then the people online were like, those are the Lex Luger tights for '93. And I was like, holy shit, they are.
That was cool.
That was really cool. it's like I love the finish where it's like things are getting crazy. They set up perfectly where they mentioned like MJF's diamond ring got stolen. It's like it's like he doesn't have it, and so of course he's not stupid. MJF's got a backup. He's got hit some brass knucks.
Yep.
And then Daniel Garcia returns to stop him from cheating to beat Ospreay again. Gets a big pop for that. MJF, I love MJF so much. His facial expression is the best. Like he had the whole like no way you're here like expression on his face.
Yep.
That's why he's one of the best in the business. It's like that was so good. And then as it should have been, he drops him on his effing head with the Tiger Driver 9-1 to win the title back. That's how it should have ended. Love that he was like, no, give me the international title back.
Yeah.
The American belt was pretty cool, but I get why he wanted that back because it was a whole.
Of course,
yeah.
And that's the story.
Yeah.
Tiger Driver 95. That was probably the best one I've seen.
I know some people saying 5 stars. It's like it could get there. I'll go 4.5. It's like it was at least like 4.5 for me. It's like it was one of the best matches on the show. It was awesome. Loved it.
Yeah,
it was really it delivered what I wanted.
Tiger Driver 91, whatever it's called, didn't drop him on his head. Dropped him on the back of his shoulders. I like that much better than what he's been doing.
Yes,
so
it still looked brutal, but it looks safe.
Yeah, it looks safe. So if he can continue to do that, I'm all for using the move.
Yeah,
but man, you cannot be reckless with these people, man. You just can't.
That's why the move is so infamous, because if you don't do it right, you can literally break someone's neck.
Yeah, I felt like he was going to break Kenny Omega's neck that one night, and I was like, "Oh, Kenny Omega's like, yeah,
that's
drop
why
me on my
people were
head."
shocked when he busted it out last year. I was like, literally, I was like, holy fuck, he just used the Tiger Driver 91. Anyone uses that move. It's because it's so dangerous. It's like,
but if you have the two best in the world pull it off, they made it look really good, and it looked like MJF was safe the whole time.
Yeah,
so good, great match. It was the second best match on the show.
Yeah, it's like I thought that the only match that could maybe equal or surpass it would be the main event, and it did. And I have no problem with that. As much as this was the match I was most looking forward to. But yeah, this match delivered the goods as it did. The Ospreay and MJF are so good. So loved how it ended. It was fantastic. Hey, hello, Chris Taylor, friend of the show. Yeah, no, it was a really good pay-per-view. Yeah, we're getting there. We only got a couple matches left to go and we'll be done with this. So after that, we had another one of the more disappointing matches on the show. TBS title match, Mercedes Moné defending against Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. People were looking forward to this. I was looking forward to this just because of the matchup. It's like first time ever. And oh man, did this match disappoint. I'm not going to say it's a bad match. It was not a bad match, but it wasn't a great match. It was. I don't know what was off. I don't know if it was that Britt still has ring rust or that Mercedes couldn't carry her to a good match. They just didn't have the chemistry. I don't know. There was just something a little off about this match. They were trying. Also, if you really paid attention, fans were the crowd was not into this match. And also, it didn't help that with their place their card because like they just came off the MJF Ospreay match, the crowd was hot for because that was one of the matches they were most looking forward to. So they had a really tough spot having to follow that awesome match. So that didn't help. But it felt like the crowd wasn't really into it until near the end. I'll give them credit. They were able to get the crowd into it, but it took a while. It's like it was early on. It seemed like they're kind of like it was. I don't know if it was fatigue or they just were just like I just don't give a crap about this match kind of attitude. Yeah. And the moneymaker finisher. It's just it looks so bad. You're
not a fan of the
that's one of the other problems. I think the build also hurt, especially when Britt got suspended for that whole incident with MJF. Her being off TV for almost 2 weeks, that didn't help the build either. So yeah, this was a big disappointment. It's like, why do you think this match didn't work? Where do you think the fault is?
Britt.
Britt?
You just saw me rant about it, and I don't want to take over the show and rant about it again because
No.
But
I
I will
you
say,
go right ahead. It's like
but,
if you want to rant, you can go ahead.
it's Brit. It's Brit. You're giving this match way more credit than anyone should. This was one of the worst matches I've ever seen two professional wrestlers wrestle.
Maybe I'm being a little generous. I don't know. It's
And you're the pot, and it's okay. We need a good cop and we need a bad cop and
Mhm.
a reality cop. And I'll be the reality one. Britt Baker's a sandbagger. She didn't want to be there. She doesn't want to be there. Look at the TV. Look at her
Yeah.
TV appearances. Look at her match. She
Mm-hmm.
does not want to be there anymore because she's not top dog anymore. She was when she got hurt. She was.
Yeah.
But now we have Tony above her. We have Mariah May above her. We have Mercedes above her, whether you like her or not.
Yeah.
Mercedes is above her. So no longer she went from being called a pillar by CM Punk to now she's
several rungs down the ladder.
Several. And I don't think she's going to be able to handle that. On top of that, if this isn't evidence enough, look at her history with all of her drama, with the situation with MJF, situation with Ruby Soho, situation with insert woman here.
Oh, the Thunder Rosa one was horrible, especially when the stuff that she was saying on that behind the scenes show that aired last year. That was just like, I was like, seriously? It's like she was literally like completely shredding Thunder Rosa while she was champion, right before she had to drop the title due to injury.
Yeah,
it's like
Britt has a bad attitude, and she's had a bad attitude for a while. And I think, and again, I can't say again because you never heard this before, but she came back with a bad situation. When you come back from an injury, whether it be a Randy Orton or any Triple H, anyone,
like, what she had to deal with is horrific. It's like when she described what she went through, it was like basically having like a mini stroke. It's like fuck.
And then coming back to work and watch everyone else come back from injury, and everyone else gets this big ovation and they win and they're heroes for the next couple months because they're back. But she has a job right away. And that would put a bad taste in my mouth. So I understand her frustration, but it's a trend with her. And she really brought this mess. She didn't try at all. She didn't sell. Her facials weren't there. She was barely selling her back. Yes, she was like, oh, this, but come on, man. She was bad.
You have really good points there. And I was really worried about what was going on because like when she came back from the suspension because of whatever happened between her and MJF in the back that caused her to get suspended for almost 2 weeks. That return promo when she was on the Videotron, there was like no fucking passion whatsoever. It looked like she was like reading lines. It's like with everything that had been built up to that point, you expected her to be like have fire, breathing fire. It was just like, yeah, I'm gonna see the pay-per-view, I'm gonna beat you. It's like there was no passion, no energy, no nothing. I was just like, what the F?
None.
So that's
what?
I was wondering what the hell's going on.
The best thing for her is when her and Adam's contract is over. Send him over to WWE. Yeah. Send Adam over there. Put him on SmackDown or put him on Raw, and then put Britt in the Performance Center because she can actually benefit from it. She's good,
right?
Ethan Page did it, and he's a phenomenal wrestler. He's over there in NXT. So here's the thing:
Ethan Page is killing it right now in NXT. It's like
he is. And if Britt was humble enough, she would go do it, but she's not. She thinks she's here, but in reality, you can't see her.
I mean, she's always been like a decent worker, but not like a great worker. So it's like she's never been outstanding. She's always been good on the mic, which has helped her. But it's like I would not be surprised. I'm not going to be surprised if Adam Cole decides to go back to WWE because Triple H and HBK are running the show over there now, and it's like they're his guys. It's like they were, and he said that he still talks to Triple H and HBK like all the time.
And SmackDown needs some heels.
It's like they're like this. It's like they love Adam Cole, and as soon as his contract is going to be nearing its end, Triple H is going to do everything he can to say, "Come on back home, dude." It's like I'm in charge now. Vince is gone. I'm going to treat you right. Come on home. And it's like he'd be crazy not to do it because he will be pushed right to the top if he goes back to WWE.
Yes, he will.
So yeah, this was a big disappointment. But thankfully, then we had another match where I thought was going to be good, but this was cut short, I think, due to time from what I heard. the coffin match for the TNT title, Jack Perry defending against Darby Allin. Only went 10 minutes. Perry wins decisively. Him and the Young Bucks try to light the coffin on fire, try to kill Darby. Sting comes back, which was cool. That was a nice moment. It's like give the Wembley fans something a cool moment with Sting.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And I had no problem with that. It's like it made sense because he said, "I'm always gonna keep an eye out for Darby. Darby's my buddy." So it made perfect sense that Sting would show up to save him from getting immolated, getting killed. So
I don't mind that spot. It was awesome.
Yeah. It was what it is. It's like I knew Darby was not going to win. Perry's going to keep the title for a while. They're trying to give him that mid card push, and so he's going to hold on to the title for a bit. So this didn't surprise me. I was just surprised it didn't. It was so short, but I guess they were like with the main event coming up. They're like, okay, if we have to cut this match short, or else we're going to go.
Well, Justin, you had to have a meaningless trios ladder match. You had to have a meaningless.
Right.
You know, you had to have these meaningless matches on this card. Why give anything with meaning on them?
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Guess what? Shorten your cards. I know you're not going to listen because you don't listen to nobody. But the reason why I'm looking forward to Bash in Berlin, although All In was good, don't get me wrong.
Yeah. No,
it would have been better if I wasn't struggling to get through half your show.
Right. It's always about the length. And it's like Tony has an issue with time management where it's like he's trying to cram too many matches onto the show. And so some of the matches that should get the attention sometimes don't. You know, it's like, and that's something that he still needs to iron out. Like there's some other pay-per-views he had this year that were paced really good. This one felt like it a little bit. It's like, yeah, there's like you could have cut like 2 or 3 matches out of here that could have been on the weekly shows, but you know that's either near there.
Yep.
But Chris agreed with you earlier about your points about Britt and Adam Cole versus a lot of people over there. Would be awesome. So his whole AEW run has been like a snake bitten thing with like injuries and stuff. It's just like it feels like it wasn't like meant to be. It's like it felt like every time he's getting close to maybe winning the AEW World title, something happens, he gets injured. It's like he's had like the worst possible luck.
And he's been stuck with the Young Bucks too before that. Yeah.
And he's still it's getting close to being a year since he got injured, breaking his ankle, and he's still not back yet. It's like it's just terrible. And then we got to the main event, which absolutely fucking delivered.
Yeah.
AEW World title, Swerve Strickland defending against Bryan Danielson. If Bryan lost, he'd have to retire. This match has everything you could ask for in a main event. It had the drama. It's like the big moments. It's like these guys are 2 of the best in the business, and they put on a show. He had the emotion with Bryan's family at ringside, his wife and his kids. Great heel moment with Swerve drags him over there and starts beating him down in front of his wife and kids. And then tells his daughter, "Don't worry, Daddy's going to be coming home soon. I'm going to make sure of it." It's like, dude,
yeah, that was good.
That's the heel work you love to see. It's like Swerve knows how to do that stuff so good. It's like they really tug at the heartstrings. Like I was getting emotional, especially near the end. It was like he's reaching out toward his daughter, like when Swerve's trying to kill him, and then he starts hulking up, because it's like the love and power of his family. This match was everything. This is like you can't ask for. This is what they needed to cap off the show, and the crowd was just so into this match. They were rooting for Bryan to win. Swerve played his part, went heel like he had to do in order and some great near falls. I like that even though Hangman came out and tried to interfere, it's like that wasn't the finish. It's like Bryan was able to get like a 2 count off that distraction, but that wasn't the finish. I thought that was a good move.
Yeah,
that sets up things for him and Swerve now. After he doesn't have a title. So he wins the title, has this great moment with his family. Although it was weird Pac was out there. He was kind of like, yeah, like I'm out here.
Dude. I text Chris, my co-host over at Real Talk Wrestling. I'm like, why is homeboy over here in his tights still? And everyone else in this, like, he's still in his uniform. Everyone else is like shirt, whatever. Like, he's still in full, like, ready to go. It's Pac. I've never seen him in real clothes. Never have.
This is one of the matches of the year for me. Is like I'll go 5 stars. This is one of the best.
Oh no, did I?
This was awesome.
This was a 4, and I gave it 4.5. I'm very, very, very strict on my 5-star matches.
That's fair.
4.5.
It's like you. I have no problem with going 4.5. It's like this is like a near perfect. It was like a perfect match. It was it's like closest to perfect as you can get.
It was so good. We didn't expect it to be this good.
No,
we wanted Ospreay and MJF for the main event, which in reality this should have been the main event. Bree, Bree was there. That was awesome.
Yeah,
just the whole scene. Like we wouldn't have been able to get that emotion if they went first. It just wouldn't have. So it was a perfect placement. This is where Tony Khan actually crushed it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he made the right choice by having this be the main event because it was a great way to cap the show. Great moment for Danielson in his career.
Yeah.
It's the synergy with this being like 10 years from when he at WrestleMania 30 when he had his first big moment with the triumph of the Yes Movement. And he won the titles in the main event. There was just it's like it. You couldn't ask for a better synergy from that moment, and then 10 years later, he has this moment near the end of his career.
Yeah.
For to have it with his family, it's like his kids were cute. His daughter was like so excited. You could see she was like, "Go, Daddy, go!"
Yeah, the best part was like any dad, if you have children watching, any dad, when he was trying to get his son to come to him, but his son was too distracted by everything else.
Yeah, he was playing with the confetti.
I've had that moment with my son 10,000 times, so it's fun. It's funny to see. That's all.
Yeah, he was having fun with the streamers. It's really cute.
That's great.
So a great ending to a damn good pay-per-view. Yeah, there were some low points, but there was a lot of good matches. The top 2 being the ones that everyone expected to deliver: MJF, Ospreay, and Swerve and Danielson. Both matches delivered, so couldn't ask for more. I'd probably maybe give it 7.5, 8 out of 10. Probably is a show overall.
Yeah, I mean I don't hate that. I gave it like a B+. I guess the same thing.
Yeah, a B+ is fair.
Yeah,
it wasn't like best pay-per-view year, but it was a very good show.
To me, it's just about time, and I don't want to spend. I don't know how to put it. Like 3.5 hours. Like I equate it to football, sports. I'm not trying to watch some. Yeah, I'm not trying to watch the Miami Dolphins play a 6-hour football game, dude.
Right.
I'm gonna watch them 3 hours is good. Same thing with my pro wrestling. I don't need to see Evil Uno. Like, I don't need to see some of these matches that we saw, but it's fine. It is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So, all right, let's we can move over to go over some WWE stuff here. SmackDown happened last week, but not that much important happened on the show. You could easily have skipped it, not miss anything. The other thing that I thought was the Santos Escobar LA Knight match was really good. Street Profits and the Bloodline was good, but other than that, it wasn't like didn't feel like an important show. It was setting up for Bash and Berlin, but that was about it. So it's like you didn't miss anything if you didn't watch it. So it's like that's all I have to say about that. It's like
I didn't miss anything, guys. I didn't miss anything. It's awesome.
Yeah,
it's great. To let everyone else know, and you know this.
Yeah,
I don't watch SmackDown. I think SmackDown's the worst TV show out of all of them.
It's definitely gone downhill. We'll see if they pump some life back into it when it moves back to USA here in a few weeks, here in September. So
I expect them to, right? You expect them to because they have to at this point.
Yeah, because that's going to be the top wrestling show because Raw's going to be going to Netflix in January. Mm-hmm. So we'll move to Raw. Not like lights out awesome Raw, but there's still a lot of good stuff. Once again, Bronson Reed steals the effing show. It's like bar none. That spot, that whole thing with Strowman.
Wait, whoa. You think Bronson Reed stole the show?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. No, it's gonna be fun.
No, it's like
strap in, guys.
What we're doing with him has been so entertaining. It's like it's like what they've been doing. He's been killing it.
Yes,
and that whole spot with him tsunamiing Strowman on top of the car and the windows breaking and the lights, that was so well done. I thought I was like, this is dope. It's like, and the fact that it made him even more badass where he walked away from it while Strowman was just like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I can feel anything in my hands. It's like, and they said that he walked away on his own. It's like makes him even more badass.
No,
And the fact that he's still threatening to kill Miz, where he's like, I want to take care of Strowman and I'm coming back for you, Miz. It's like, oh, Miz, like, you're in deep shit, man.
okay. Can I go off? No, I won't go
Yeah,
off too much.
go for it.
I was never a fan of Bronson Reed. Never.
Okay.
After he did the splashes of Seth, I'm like, okay, this is cool. This is how you get a guy over. Then he did the R-Truth and Miz. Okay, cool. That's fine. This to me was, and don't kill me, people. This was AEW-ish. As in, what card sparkles after you jump on it or whatever?
It's very obvious they tricked out the car. It's like
obviously, and they're acting like Michael Cole's like, don't, like when Jeff Hardy was on a 15 million foot ladder, don't do it, Jeff. Or JR was screaming it. This guy was jumping a foot, like it was just a foot, guys. He just felt like it wasn't that far of a jump. Literally, it wasn't. It wasn't like, I would say maybe that jump was 2 feet. So to me, I'm like, man, after he did with Seth, after he did R-Truth, I think this was a downgrade. But you're showing me something different, like people did. So I guess I am in the minority because you enjoyed it, and it's fine to enjoy it. It's fine not to enjoy it. I thought it did less. I thought it took away from what he did in the weeks prior. That's all I think.
Okay, that's fair if it didn't work for you. I'm just glad that it's like they're continuing to show that he's just a badass record machine at this point, and it's like, I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen next, because it's like Miz better watch out, he may end up in the hospital next, because it's like he's
the stuff leading up to the jump, though, the backstage stuff, Braun taking that jump, because we know that thing's not heavy, but he acts like it is and throws it at the car. All that stuff was good. It's just the jump to me. It was like, y'all acting like this guy's Jeff Hardy style, like jumping from 15 feet. He fell 2 feet. Like it's Michael Cole. Oh my God. Chill out, guys. It's Joey Styles. We don't need to get your inner Joey Styles for this. This wasn't no Sabu moment right here. God. But that being said, if I can nitpick, and if you guys want to make fun of the exploding death match or whatever AEW does, you can't not make fun of the sparkle from a windshield. Can't not.
Yeah, that was definitely like I wasn't surprised like the windows broke, but yeah, seeing that it's like sparks flying inside the car, I was like, okay, they definitely threw that in there for some added effect.
Ironically, this is very Braun Strowman-esque when he first debuted and was destroying everybody, Roman, putting them in dumpsters, dumping it over. Yep. So I do like the destruction of Bronson Reed. They're doing a good job of making him look monstrous. So I can definitely respect that, and I like what they're doing with it. Now, what's next?
Some of the other stuff I liked from the show was so they got this Intercontinental title tournament set up. Some interesting results already. So Jey Uso winning, not surprising. And let's see, Pete Dunne surprised me by winning the other match over Miz and Xavier Woods. But I'm cool. I love Pete Dunne. I love the Bruiserweight, so I don't mind him getting into the mix when it comes to the Intercontinental title. Let's see. I'm loving the advancement of the whole angle with Judgment Day versus the Terror Twins.
Mm-hmm.
They've been doing a good job building that up well. That's going to be a fun tag match. The Chad Gable, Uncle Holly stuff, it's like, I know a lot of people enjoy the Uncle Holly. I don't think it's bad, but I'm like, okay, it intrigues me, but I'm not like sucked into it. Like, I think this is like the best thing ever.
Okay.
But I appreciate the work that Bo Dallas and everybody are putting into us, and it's definitely over with the fans. You can tell that they're
it is.
This up. So it's like I'm not gonna poo-poo all over it just because maybe it's not working for me 100%. It's like some people enjoy it. Yeah, it's like I know some people they're not into this Y6 stuff. It's each their own. Like not everything is always going to work for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely working for the fans because this is pretty over so far. Although I disagree that Chad Gable is being buried kind of comments. It's like he just re-signed. It's like they have to go over. It's like there's like they spent so much time hyping up White 6. You can't have him just to be treated like to lose. It's like eventually Chad's going to get his wins back, but it's like them winning the first couple rounds here. It makes sense storyline wise. I guess is what's happened. So I don't have a problem with it. It's like he's not being buried. It's like if he didn't think he was going to get treated well, he wouldn't have resigned. It's like it's like his work, his heel work this last year has been phenomenal. Yep. It's such a man. I remember the Shorty GJs, dude. It's like I felt so bad for him. Oh, it's so terrible. Oh God, I thought like I was like at one point I was thinking like, man, maybe he should just wait till his contract expires and just go over to AEW because he's getting treated because Vince is just treating him like shit, man.
Yeah.
The fact that he was able to survive the Shorty G stuff and then just like completely get him and Otis over as the Alpha Academy, both as heels and then as faces because they got so over they turned babyface because the fans got into them so much is a testament to the work that he put in along with Otis to make that work. Yeah, I didn't think it would. So I'm not worried about Chad Gable. He's going to get his due eventually. Pure Fusion Collective, do not give an F. It's like, this is a terrible name. Don't care.
I don't understand it.
It's just terrible.
I don't understand it.
They're trying, but it's like the name is not good, and nobody in the group has any charisma. It's like Sonya's decent on the mic, but that's about it. It's like they don't have any. If they had a really good mouthpiece like Chelsea Green, it's like speaking for them, that'd be one thing. But it's just like I'm not invested in this. And poor Damage Control is down to just Io and Kyrie because Asuka and Dakota Kai are out on the shelf injured. So it's like they're just down to just a tag team at this point. And some people are not getting used. I'm like they were pushing Lyra Valkyria, who I really like. And she's been missing for the last 2 weeks. It's like she's stuck in carrying again for some reason. And they barely use Kiana James at all ever since she got drafted. So she's like in no man's land. So it's like they got some work to do in the women's division over on Raw. Like Liv and Rhea has been fantastic. That the whole feud and everything between Liv and Rhea, that's cooking. The other stuff for the women on Raw has been just all over the place. It's like it's really messy for me.
We're really missing Asuka. We're missing Charlotte. We're missing Becky.
Yep.
We're missing. Is there anyone else that's out? I can think of.
Shotzi's still out. She tore her ACL.
She's nothing to me.
I like Shotzi. She's out.
I'm trying to think of who else is out.
Those are the major, Charlotte, Asuka are both out with injuries. Charlotte's probably gonna be back pretty soon. She's a freak. She looks like she's ready to get back in the ring. The workout video she puts out. And Becky will be back eventually. She's taking a well-deserved break to spend time with her daughter and Seth. So, it's like I was never worried that she was going to go to AEW. If she wanted to go to AEW, she would have already gone there already. She'll be back. I think it's a good thing. As much as I love Becky Lynch, she's one of my favorites all time. I think it was good for her to take a break so that the fans can kind of miss her a little bit. Yeah. So
I was getting tired of her. Just to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we all get tired of people. Like I was getting tired of her. Like she was boring to me. But when she comes back, it's gonna be cool again. And everyone gets that way. Like every single wrestler, or just think of anything. You're not going to listen to the same song every day.
Yeah,
you might, but it loses its luster when Becky comes out and she's done everything. What else could she do? So it's good for her to take a break. So we miss her. Same thing for Charlotte. Mm-hmm. Honestly, like I was sick of Charlotte, but I'm kind of missing her now. Don't tell Bobby. Bobby, don't watch this.
I won't tell Bobby. I know people poo-poo on Charlotte, and she's not the best on the mic, but she's really damn good in the ring. You can't deny that. It's like that's where she shines. So, and plus, her and Tiffany Stratton at WrestleMania is going to be fucking money. I cannot wait for that. That's going to be that's going to be a moneymaker feud when she gets back. Because she's going to go right after Nia and Tiffany when she gets back, because they've already set that up with her being the queen. She's got the title now. Mm-hmm. Charlotte's going to be going right for her. It's like, Charlotte. Yep. Is there anything else on Raw that you thought was any good worth talking about?
Just to piggyback back on the Terra Twins and that whole situation, I love it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of sick of the deadbeat dad Rey Mysterio stuff. Wish they would get away from that. But
Yeah, I'm kind of over Ray and Dom in the ring. It's like let them not interact for quite a while, and then do one final blow off where it's like like put his mask or his career on the line against Dom, something like that.
But I definitely understand why they do it, because he never was able to beat Ray until Liv was in the picture.
Exactly.
And that's why he chose Liv, because hell, I helped, or she helped him win. So
yeah,
I understand.
I didn't realize that until they pointed it out, where it's like while Ray was with Judgment Day, he never beat his dad in any match. But thanks to Liv, he's beaten him now twice in the last couple months.
And that's why they're doing it to further that. Which I'm just over it. Like, find something else to get those two over.
Yeah. You also need to do something in the tag title scene, because Judgment Day just hold on the titles, and it's like they don't even have anyone trying to take the titles from them right now.
I didn't even know they were champions. So
yeah, exactly. You forget that they have the tag team titles, because it's like they haven't defended them since they won them. It's like they don't even. It's like they haven't even done. At least with Braun and their kind of title, they got a tournament going on to give him a new challenger. Now that him and Sammy are done with, it's like they're not even doing that with the tag titles. So it's like. Nope.
Useless.
Don't know. I'll go over NXT real quick, because I know you didn't catch NXT. It was a decent show. They did a good job setting things up for No Mercy on Sunday. This is one of those loaded weekends where you got Bash in Berlin on Saturday, and then you got NXT No Mercy on Sunday night. So it's like you got two WWE events back to back this weekend. So I'm gonna have a lot to talk about next week. The big thing that came out of NXT was that because of Ethan Page's recent shenanigans when he was trying to prevent Joe Hendry from getting the title shot, Ava made Trick Williams the special guest referee for Ethan Page versus Joe Hendry title match. So that's going to add some interesting, intriguing storyline stuff. Because also, I'm thinking Pete Dunne, the Bruiserweight's going to be in the mix, because he's been messing with Trick in NXT, and he wants the NXT title. So he's probably going to get involved. This is set up to have some major shenanigans, because I know some people would like to see Joe Hendry win the NXT title. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Unfortunately, I would love for it to happen. I'd be hyped if that happened.
People would love it. I would mark out if it happened. But
that'd be so cool. But
it would be a ballsy move to put one of your titles on a wrestler who is not contracted to your company.
You have to be in New Japan or very desperate, or CMLL or something like that, to want TV exposure, which NXT already has TV exposure. So who cares? That's why they're not going to give it to Joe Hendry.
Yeah, it's like there's some other good stories. They did a good job they gave Jada Parker an interview to talk about her history, to explain where she's come from, kind of build her up a little bit if you don't know her. Because this match with Roxanne it doesn't have too much time for build, but they did a good job with giving her some promo time. And then she I don't know if you saw the clip, but she smacked the crap out of Roxanne hard. You could hear it. I think she was a legit slap, because it was just I was like, oh damn.
I did not see the clip. I should go watch it. I'm a big fan of Jada Parker. My favorite Instagram account.
Yeah, that's awesome here. I'm also a big fan of Jada Parker. I think she's got potential to be really, really damn good. She's gotten really good in the ring. So I'm glad that they're giving her this chance against Roxanne to give her some shine, because she's not beating Roxanne. Roxanne's not dropping the title just yet. Not when you got Julia and Stephanie Vaquer lurking around the corner, who could be showing up at any time at this point. And Cora Jade's teasing that she's about ready to come back. But there was an interesting thing quickly. Oh, there's a Ms. Yep. Hi, Josh. Yes, one Josh to another.
Yes, thank you for letting me step in one episode. I look forward to meeting one day. I look forward to meeting you. I've talked to Justin.
We'll have to have you on with Josh as well. We'll have to have a three-way sometime for sure. So we have both Josh on at the same time.
Yes.
But something interesting happened when during the Jada Parker interview, where Roxanne came in and they started jaw jacking, and she slapped Roxanne because she's like, I'm gonna slap the taste of me out. She's like, I like to see you try. And she went up and just went, bam, just dropped her like a bad habit. And And then all of a sudden they had this thing where Jada Parker looks over at someone who's behind the cameras and like goes, "Oh, I've heard about you." It's like they didn't show who it was, but she was like talking to somebody. And then Roxanne looked over and had this like look of like holy shit on her look on her face. So they were definitely teasing somebody showing up real soon. It could be that could have been Stephanie, that could have been Julia, could have been Cora Jade, I don't know. But they're definitely teasing somebody probably showing up at No Mercy. So that was definitely some kind of tease that they were setting up. I'm looking forward to when those Julia and Stephanie Kerr show up, because but watching their stuff online, they're both amazing. That women's division is going to get insane with those two on the roster, and then you get Cora Jade back on top of that. It's going to be the NXT women's roster is going to be so stacked.
It already is. It already is stacked. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, you got Sol Rucka, who's really good. Jada Parker, Kalani Jordan's really talented. She's still a little green, but she's getting there. Fallon Henley, JC Jane, they got a whole new heel faction, Fatal Influence. So Thea Hale, I'm a big fan of Thea Hale. I think she's really talented too. They got a lot of talented women down there. It's crazy.
Big things. Honestly, NXT's got big things going on. I talk about it once a week, and guess what? I never watch it. But I watch YouTube.
It's hard. It's like it's just so much. There's so much wrestling during the week, man. It's like.
But I go to YouTube and I do look at the clips.
Mm-hmm.
So that tells you something. And I don't do that for SmackDown ever. Period. I don't want to be put to sleep when I watch wrestling.
All right, so let's go to Dynamite then real quick here, and then we'll talk about Bash in Berlin this weekend, and maybe we'll NXT No Mercy real quick. So Dynamite, we had the Fallout show from the pay-per-view. Big surprise, John Moxley shows up to open the show. That was a cool surprise. And then things get really interesting with his really weird behavior. He comes out to new music, which also surprised. So it took me a second. I was like, wait a minute, where's Wild Thing? It's like so he's not coming out the Wild Thing. He has completely new music. Definitely feels like he's heading in a heel direction, especially with the way he was talking. He's like, "Yo, Darby, I need to talk to you." And then the comment that has everybody speculating on what the F it means. It's like telling, "Hey, Tony, this is not your company anymore." And so everyone was immediately assuming, "Oh my God, are they going to do an invasion angle with Shane McMahon?" Was the immediate reaction on the IWC. I don't know. I don't know if that it's like that idea doesn't exactly wow me, but I'm wondering where this is going to go. It's got my interest, even though Maria Shafir's involved, which that came out of nowhere, and it's like I don't really give a crap about her. Like, no offense, Roddy Strong.
No one does.
Roddy Strong's one of my favorite wrestlers. I love Roddy Strong, but I'm sorry, it's like I'm not a big fan of your wife in the ring. It's like I'm sorry, Roddy.
That's his wife? I had no idea.
Yeah, Maria Shafir is Roddy Strong's wife.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Roddy Strong went to my high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he graduated, cool. I believe, 1 year before or after me.
Oh, okay. That was weird that she came out of nowhere, and it's like I was like, wait a minute, Maria Shafir is with Moxley. What the hell's going on? I'm willing to wait to see this play out, but definitely this was the big talk out of this show was what's going on with Moxley. What is this leading to? Do you think that the Shane McMahon speculation is like a little too out there, or what do you think?
I think it's not out there. I think it's kind of cool. I don't think it's going to happen.
I'd be shocked if it did.
I don't think Moxley's too big to have a leader or a bigger, like someone like, oh, I'm under Shane and Shane's giving me these. No, that's not Moxley's character. Moxley does his own thing. This isn't your company anymore. That was a weird statement. I didn't truly understand what was happening.
Yeah, I was kind of like, what the hell?
And then I started thinking, what happened with the BCC? Did they break up? Did Moxley flying out?
Yeah, it feels like they're definitely divorcing him from the Combat Club, because obviously it's still Danielson, Wheeler Yuta, and Claudio.
Yep, because they were happy for him.
Packed by title association at this point.
Actually, I got this title. I guess I'm part of the. Am I part of the club now?
I got part of the club now.
I'm interested to see where this goes.
Yeah,
and I think Moxley has been stale for the past year and a half for me.
Yeah, they definitely need to change things up. I think this is this has a potential to maybe take him in
good.
a cool, maybe heel direction.
This
that
is
he
good.
hasn't been. Yeah. Hangman, Tomohiro Ishii, that was fine. You know, they beat the crap out of each other. You know, it was fine.
Yep.
I did love the confrontation between him and Hangman. That was some great stuff. Setting up a cage match at the pay-per-view. That makes sense. I liked all that. The whole storyline between them since last year has been really well done. So the question is Hangman finally going to get that win over Swerve, because he has not been able to beat Swerve all the other times that they've wrestled?
He has to, right? He has to.
Yeah, you think he has to at this point, especially the way he was like, the only reason you beat me every time was because you had help. It's like, and he's right though. It's like he's like that first match, Nana helped you win. Then it was Nana and Brian Cage.
Yep.
And then we went to a time limit draw, so it's like you didn't beat me there. It's like, so it's like, so I thought that was really cool. He brought all that up, and so that's why I thought that was nice. That Swerve's like, okay, fine. You want to make sure it's just you and me? Let's do it in the cage.
Who's the baby face? Who's the heel?
That's the question. Coming because Swerve was very heelish at the pay-per-view, and he was the one who did a home invasion on Hangman. But it's like the crowd treats Hangman like he's the bad guy.
Swerve.
It's so weird.
Swerve was Mr. Company Man, leading Team AEW in Blood and Guts 1 month. The very next month, he's a heel, and now he's going to be a babyface. It's just very, very flip floppy, and I understand why he's doing it, and I'm here for it. And I've always said this, and I'm going to stand by it. When you watch the UFC, when you watch boxing, there's no heel or babyface. It's just this guy wants to beat up this dude. This dude wants to beat up this dude because they're making money and that's their job. And I can separate that. You know, I have friends. I'm sure you have friends. I'm sure everyone watching has friends where somebody doesn't like that guy. I know. So I have a really good friend where a lot of people don't like this guy, but to me, he's a good guy because he is. So that's a human element. So it's okay for Swerve to have an edge to him. He doesn't particularly like Brian.
Yeah, he can be a tweener if it's done right.
But that's the thing is, like people, the Jim Cornettes of the world, or certain people, me sometimes, I'm like, who's the babyface? Who's the heel? Guys, they're just people. That's their job as a professional wrestler. Like, you don't have to have a heel and face. That's my rant. I'm done.
Okay.
That's my rant. I'm sorry if I'm taking over, Justin, but it just bugs me when people are like, "Well."
You are welcome to voice your opinion, whether people agree with it or not. It's like that. It's like you're good, man. So yeah, we had Jamie Hayter make her in-ring debut against Harley Cameron. It was a quick, short squash. It's exactly what it should have been. She looks great. It feels like they're setting up that her and Saraya are going to have a match real soon, so she can. It'll be. Which makes sense. Get that over with. Let her get her revenge against Saraya, and then see what they're gonna where they're gonna place her. You know, it's like, is she gonna be in the TBS scene, or is she gonna be in the AEW title scene? Or are they gonna try to come up with a feud to kill her time to keep her away from one of the titles for a bit before they maybe put her back in the title picture? We'll see. But no, she looked great. I'm happy she's back. Learning tree stuff. Doesn't care, man.
Skip.
It was so weird seeing, like, what, Roddy, why are you hanging out with the learning tree, man? The learning tree is death. It's like
Skip. Like, you know,
he mentions being stuck to either. I'm proud to be in the Jericho. It's like, no, Roddy, you should not be proud you're in the Jericho vortex. You should be wanting to get away from the damn Jericho vortex.
Yeah, it's the worst. It's the worst.
It's terrible. And the match was fine. It's like, you know, I guess Roddy is going to go. I think honestly, Hook needs to get rid of the FTW title. Honestly, it's like, it's not even an officially recognized title. Why? It's like, look, I get it. It's related to his dad and all that stuff. I get it. But at this point, there's no point to it. It's like, is that all he's going to do is the FTW title? It's like, once you give him a real title that actually means something. It's like, no offense, Taz. It's like, you know,
I think Taz knows this. I think this is a Tony Khan thing. And it is what it is. You know, Hook will never grow until he leaves that company, because Hook has been flatlined.
He could really use MST, and I mean that sincerely, as like in a good way.
Yeah, I love Hook. I think Hook has a great potential.
Oh yeah.
It's just he's doing this,
Yeah, he's
And
not going anywhere. He doesn't feel like he's going up. He feels like he's just here in the mid card. That's it.
he's not going down. He's not going up. He's just
He's just
here.
there.
And when the whole Jericho situation happened, like, gosh, man, this is going to drag him down. And it didn't drag him down. It just kept him. And I'm like, I'd rather watch him eat chips with Danhausen. Like, just give me Hookhausen back, because that was much better than whatever we're seeing now.
The Hookhausen was fun. I loved
It was
Hookhausen.
fun. Exactly.
Yeah, he needs to do more of that stuff. Give him some personal, like the stuff he was doing with Samoa Joe. I was liking that. I like their interactions, like in the back. It'll be. I want to see that back when Samoa Joe comes back, because he's been busy filming Twisted Metal season 2.
Yeah, so that was good. I'm like, Joe and Hooker. That's a great combination.
Yeah, I thought they were great together. I love their random conversations about. It's like, is this true? It's like that's the oldest sport. It's like, yeah, dude. It's like, that doesn't make sense. It's like here. This is how we're going to do this. It's like, I loved all that stuff. It's like I miss it. It's like it was working. Kyle Fletcher versus Ricochet. It was what you expect. It was fun.
It's great.
What I loved was happened afterwards. Ospreay comes out. Looks like he's gonna like talk to Ricochet. And I love that you see Pac sneaking up behind him, like, and then does the poison Rana on the stage and lays him out. And what he said made perfect sense. Like, yo, Ricochet, you just got here. Get in the back of the line. I got next. It's like he's mine, not your. It's like you wait your turn. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I love that. And he is right. He's like, don't overlook me. It's like, bitch. It's like, I loved all that.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what these guys can do. All of them. The mid card is phenomenal.
Ospreay and Pac is going to rock. You know what's crazy? I looked it up. These two have only wrestled one other time before.
Wow.
Once.
Are you going to buy this show?
It was in an indie fed. And I think it was a draw from what I heard. There wasn't like a winner. So it's like, so these two, this is only the second time these two have ever stepped in the ring together, which is crazy to think about. So I can't wait. These are two of the best in the business. So that's the matches I'm looking forward to. So I love that whole deal with Pac doing that. It's like don't overlook me, Ospreay.
Yep.
Yeah, and your buddy Ricochet's here. I know you're having a hard on wanting to have a 5-star match with your buddy Ricochet, but don't forget about me. It's like, I love that.
Yeah. Are you buying All Out?
I don't know. It's like, it's $50 is a lot. Yeah. It's like, I don't know. It's like, I was able to. I looked at my did some numbers. I'm like, I can afford to get All In. I don't know about All Out. I may have to resort to other means to watch it. It's like, if you know what I mean. It's like, but to save money, I don't normally like to do that, but we'll see.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
That's why I'm glad I have the network. It's $10, and I don't have to worry about. Yeah, it's like
I'll be honest. I don't have
to worry about paying $50 to watch Basher Berlin and NXT No Mercy.
Yeah, I'm not watching All Out. There's no way. There ain't no way. I just paid $50 to my cable company. You know, I have the luxury. I can just charge it to Spectrum, whatever. But a lot of people don't. They stream. Like, you have to pay it like up front. And if the show sucks, it's not like, if the show sucks, imagine you just threw $50 away. It's just it's hard these days. It's not like
it is. It's hard. $50 is a lot. It's like it's a lot for one show. So it's like there's some potentially be some really good matches on the show, like Pac Ospreay, but it's like I could probably skip it and just be able to just see highlights. It's like, we'll see, but it's like, especially because it's coming. It's only like 2 weeks away from the other show, which is ridiculously short amount of time. It's like you gotta have some space in between your pay-per-views. You know, it's like you can't. It's like 2 weeks is that's too quick to have.
It's ridiculous. Is it? Is it next week?
It's next Saturday.
So during college football kickoff, all that. Idiot. Like, honestly, what do you think people are going to watch? College football or your wrestling show when you just had your biggest one of the year? Yeah,
it's like, and plus it's like the matches make sense because they're related to storylines that have been building for a while, even before All In. Mm-hmm. But still, any other stuff you throw in there is going to have like pretty much like no time for any kind of proper build. So like the matches they made so far make sense. Like Willow Statlander's been going on for a while. Garcia MGF, that's been built up for a while. Same with Hangman Swerve. Pac and Ospreay, that's the only one that's like kind of looked really short, but it's just like,
Well, Pac had the title shot.
Yeah. And
months ago.
Yeah, exactly. So that's actually, good point. That's also been set up for a bit. So thankfully he was smart enough to set some of the stuff up for these matches ahead of time before even All In happened. So that way you don't feel like there's like a super rush build to this pay-per-view. Yeah. But still, it's rough having to try to spend another $50 2 weeks after you just spent some for another show. It's rough. But speaking of WWE PLEs, we got Bash in Berlin on Saturday. Because of the time difference, because they're in Germany, it's going to start at 1 o'clock Eastern time, which is not great for me because I'm working at the time. I'll probably be able to catch some of the show live because I could get like an hour break for lunch. So I'll be able to watch a decent chunk of the show, but I'll have to wait until later in the evening when the replays are ready to watch the rest of it because I'm not going to be able to watch all of it. So I thought about taking the day off. I'm like, it's Bash in Berlin. I'll be able to watch all of NXT No Mercy on Sunday. So it's like, I'm fine. Because it's like I took time off for SummerSlam because it's like I wanted to make sure I didn't miss it. So we got Bash in Berlin. Thankfully, it's a nice short card, only 5 matches. We got Women's Tag Team Championship match. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn defending against Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. I would like the champs to keep the titles and not job the titles right back to Bianca and Jade. I kind of fear they might. I hope that they find a way to win. They don't need to tease Bianca and Jade breaking up just yet. They can still build that for a little bit because it seems like they're obviously they've become pretty good friends. It's like I see them hanging out all the time outside of the ring, so they can take their time building toward an eventual split. I would prefer it if Bianca turned on her and went heel because I think she needs to kind of like that freshening up because Bianca's been a babyface for so long and she's really good as babyface. She's a fan still love her, but it's kind of like it's gotten stale for me. I'll be honest, and I'm a big fan of the EST. I've been a fan of hers ever since her NXT days before she got called up. I thought she had the star potential and she proved it when they gave her the ball and she ran with it. What do you think? Do you think? How are you feeling about this match? Do you think that the champs are keeping the titles for this one or no?
I hope they do. I hope they keep the titles. I don't need to see Jade and Bianca mess around with these meaningless titles anymore.
Exactly. Give Alba Fire and Isla Dawn a decent run. Try to have the titles mean something instead of having being
make them mean something.
Back and forth.
Make them mean something. I like what you said about Bianca. I agree 1,000%. And plus, storyline wise, it doesn't make sense. The veteran Bianca should be upset at Jade for costing her because she's a rookie, right?
Right.
It wouldn't make sense. I guess you could play the angle of Jade going, "I'm better than you, I'm younger than you, whatever." But they're not
jealousy, just maybe jealousy and just like that.
So
it could make it real simple.
Yeah. So Bianca turning would be nice, but we don't need to see it now. You're right. But when do we need to see it? Because at what point? How often? What else can they do?
Right. That's the question is like, do they want to have Jade Bianca at this year's WrestleMania or not? That's the question. So it's like, if they're going to do it at WrestleMania, they want to have the turn happen probably by Rumble time, if they're going to split. And then you have enough time to build toward a Mania match between the two of them.
But do we want this at Mania? I don't.
Not necessarily. It's like, honestly, I want to see Rhea Bianca. Rhea Bianca has not happened yet, which is kind of crazy how long they've both been on the main roster.
Yeah.
That's a Mania match I want to see.
Yeah. And you know what? I used to be hold it as in like, don't burn this match. Why do we need to see this match now? Now I'm like, let's get this match done.
Yeah.
So I was like with MJF and Ospreay, I'm like, wait, why they're just now both healthy, but both here. Why are we doing this match now? But then I'm like, wait, because you don't want to miss this opportunity because you don't know if someone's going to get hurt long term. CM Punk and Seth, right? Like,
yep. That was going to be a Mania match, but they both got hurt.
Yeah. So I don't think of it anymore as don't burn it now. I think of it as let's see it because this might be
Right.
our only chance.
Like they built Becky and Rhea for a long time. It's like they teased them facing off for quite a while before they finally decided to pull the trigger, and they did it at the right time. So they can do the same with Rhea and Bianca, even though they're on different brands. I think eventually it'll happen. Yeah, so I'm hoping the champs retain. All right, we got the strap match: CM Punk versus McIntyre. Punk's got to win this one. He's got to even the score after losing at SummerSlam. They're probably going to just beat the living crap out of each other with the strap. They're probably going to have welts on their back. They're going to be insane. Just because I know these two are going to go all out. No pun intended. AEW.
Yeah.
This match should hopefully be really good. So yeah, Punk's going to win this one, and then they'll finally have the rematch at Bad Blood, which will probably be Hell in a Cell.
Hopefully
It's not a guarantee, but that's the most likely step that I think makes sense when you have a Bad Blood pay-per-view.
Of course. Yeah, I'm excited for this match. Probably going to be the match of the night besides Gunther and Randy Orton. But
absolutely, I agree.
I'm looking forward to see CM Punk get his win. Have this be a rubber match, Hell in a Cell. My only question to you is: Does he get his little bracelet back?
That's the thing. Will he get the? Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I could see him getting it back, but McIntyre finding a way to keep things going for the blow off match at Bad Blood. We'll see. But that's a good point. We have to see what's going to happen if he's going to be able to get the bracelet back after this match or not.
Here's what I think. Drew McIntyre destroys the bracelet.
Ooh.
And we don't have the bracelet anymore.
That'd be bold. I like it.
Right? I don't know. Just throwing things out there. I don't know.
No, I like it. I think that's a great idea. That would be kind of like a shocking twist. That'd make Punk even more angry.
Exactly.
I like it. So we got mixed tag team match. Damien Priest and Rhea Ripley against Dirty Dom and Liv. Do you think that the Terror Twins need to win this match, or do you think Judgment Day needs to get another win over them at this point before we head to Bad Blood?
They need a win. Rhea needs to win. Rhea and Damien need to win. Mm-hmm. Rhea needs to pin Liv. Rhea needs to pin Liv because she's not going to pin her till WrestleMania. I think that's our WrestleMania match. I think it's Liv and Rhea.
You think Liv's going to hold on the title for that long?
She needs to her first title reigns were kind of like fluky. People didn't really buy into her.
That title reign she had when she beat Ronda was horrible. That was horrible.
It was, and people didn't buy into her. And it's sad. But now we are. And now she's in a good spot. So why not let her continue this run? Because as good as Rhea is, and we all love Rhea, and I love Rhea, Liv is damn good in this role. This is her best role she's ever played. And I'll say,
I was about to say the same thing. This is her best work, both on the mic and in the ring that she's ever had. She's killing it right now.
Yeah.
With this character, with this current heel persona, I think it's fantastic.
And as much as you love Rhea, why can't Liv get her moment? Why is it going to be about?
It's like you don't want to treat her as just like the placeholder until it's like because I know because people are upset. Like, why do they give Becky the title after Rhea got hurt? It's like you're not thinking long term. I saw exactly what they do. They wanted to put it on an established name. And then they were going to let Liv take it. And that's exactly what happened. Because then it adds fuel to I've taken everything from you, which is what she was saying. She's like, she took Dom, she took the title, she took Judgment Day away from her. It's like she completed the revenge tour. It's like winning the title was part of the revenge plan. So, and plus it meant more for her to beat Becky in a match than win it in a battle royal. Yep. It's like people were not thinking long term when they were bitching about that. So it's like that's why I didn't have a problem with it. It's like, and not just because I'm a Becky fan, but it's like it made sense booking wise. It's like you gotta think with your brain sometimes and not with your emotions. It's hard to do that in wrestling. It's like sometimes
it's hard.
It is hard. So yeah, I think the babyface are probably gonna win this match to build toward Bad Blood. So again, we got the big title matches, both world titles on the line. Cody Rhodes versus KO, WWE title match. the build has not been spectacular for this. It's like, they're trying. I get it. It's something filler for Cody. It's going to be a really good match, but just not excited for it. And I love both these guys. It's just like like the match is not going to suck, but there's no I'm more hyped for Gunther, Randy Orton, just because of the possibilities of what's going to happen to with Randy after the match, and plus the build toward, because of what happened at King of the Ring and how they built the match so far between the two of them has been much better. So it's going to be fine. It'll be a good match, but it's not something to be super excited about.
Yeah. It is what it is. It's going to be a good match. Just like Cody does. Cody has good matches.
Yep.
I don't want to get on Cody too much because I heard you're a fan.
No, it's like no, you're fine if you with your Cody.
But I love Cody. I love Cody as a person. I love Cody as a wrestler. I don't love Cody as a champion. I think this has been awful for him.
Mm-hmm.
He's so much better as a sympathetic chasing character, chasing a title, and then once he wins it, it's just they don't know how to. They don't know how to.
It's been stale for you.
They don't know how to book him correctly, and he comes off douchey. Comes off as a heel. He wears suits. What babyface you ever know wears suits, right?
Yeah.
That's I'm better than you situation. Like I'm better than you. No, I just wish Cody would stop being such a politician as a character. His character, he's a politician. When he went against Roman, he never really went at him. It was like, may the best man win. Yada yada. Like I'm overly corniness. I wish somebody would beat the brains out of him, which Randy Orton I hope does soon. So I can't wait for that. Yeah.
No, I get that. It's fair. It's like the fans are still. It's like it's working for a lot of the fans. It's not going to work for everybody. It's like, and that's fair. Like the fans are still really into Cody. He's really over, and so
I'm still doing woe. I'm still doing woe. Like I'll always explain it this way. When I went to AEW in Orlando, he was wrestling Malachi. That's when Malachi debuted, but that's not where I didn't go to the show he debuted at, but they were feuding. Yeah, and during the show, the main event, we're all boo, F you, Cody, right? F you, Cody. But he's the baby face. But that's the time where the fans were truly turning on him. Mm-hmm. And after the show was over, yada yada yada, went off air. He still grabbed the mic, thanks all the fans, and we're all going, "Thank you, Cody," because we like you. We don't like your character. And it's a fine line that sometimes fans don't know how to blur. They just we love Cody. I love Cody Rhodes. I hate his characters. I think he books himself, and they book himself so cringe. But I love Cody.
Fair criticism. All right, so then we got the main event, as it should be: Gunther versus Randy Orton for the World Heavyweight Title. This match, I think, is going to be a banger because their match for King of the Ring was really awesome, and they've really done a good job of building this, especially that it's like Orton's chasing that other world title. It's like he's like he to add another notch to his record book, and it's stuff like that. They've done a good job, especially where he's like your arrogance is going to cost you, Gunther. It's like you can't underestimate me. It's like but Gunther's so good as the arrogant, cocky heel. It's like this is why I love him so much. It's like I fell in love with him as soon as he came to WWE as Walter. I've been a big fan of the Ring General for a long time. I'm glad he's getting his due here as the world champion after that awesome record-breaking IC title run. This match is going to be awesome, but there's no question Gunther is not losing the title. He just won it. Brandy's going to lose, but it's still going to be awesome. The question is this going to add fuel toward a Randy heel turn? This is what I'm wondering.
Yeah, I think so. I think it has to at some point. But are you ready, Justin? Are you ready to boo Randy Orton? I'm not.
I know that's the hard part because it's like he's so cool at this point, and it's like the fans love him so much. It's like he's got to get really dastardly to get them boo him. Like I was wondering with MJF because fans loved MJF when he came back, but when he did to Daniel Garcia. Boom! There, it's like they hated him again. It's like it worked. It's like
different fan base though, because as in AEW knows how to play along their fan bases. Like, oh, we're supposed to boo you now, MJF. Okay, but we still love you. Whereas I think in WWE,
Mm-hmm.
it's still gonna be hard to boo Randy Orton because
Yeah.
when Brock Lesnar came out, we all popped every time, even his heel run, like we popped because it's Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
So you'll get the same reaction for Randy forever. He's a legend.
Yeah. I was like, yeah. Even when Brock was a heel, I was like, I was like, whenever it was Suplex City time, I was like, Suplex City, let's go. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and everyone's cheering every single suplex, counting them. So
yeah. So I think between the strap match and Gunther versus Orton, it's probably going to be a thumbs up show. It's a good filler show before we get to Bad Blood, which I think they're really going to throw out some killer matches with the feuds that are going on. And the name I think was a good idea to bring back Bad Blood because there's a lot of feuds that fit the Bad Blood description.
Oh yeah,
Punk McIntyre is in that territory. Rhea Liv, even Priest and versus Finn in the Judgment Day is getting into Bad Blood territory. So it's like the title it really fits a lot of some of the red hot feuds that we got going on. So that's going to be fun. All right, so one last thing before we wrap up here, we're going to go over. No Mercy is on Saturday. It's on Sunday night. It's going to be taking place in Denver, Colorado. So NXT's on the road outside of the Performance Center, which is always nice to see. So we got 6 matches for this show. The breakup of the Rascals, Wesley versus Edgar Wentz. Wesley turned heel on his former best friend and tag team partner recently. Set up a singles match. I'm probably going to guess Wesley's probably going to win that because they probably want to really give him that heel push right now with this heel turn, which I was not expecting. So that's going to be interesting. We got Chase U defending the tag team titles against Nathan Frazier and Axiom in a rematch. Probably I'm going to go with Chase U because they've been teasing Axiom and Nathan Frazier to break up for a while. And I'm wondering if they're finally going to pull the trigger if they lose again to Chase U. Andre Chase Ridgeon, we'll see. Very interesting match patch up here. Oba Femi defending the North American title against Tony D'Angelo of the D'Angelo family. That could be a sleeper match. I don't know if it'll be a banger match, but Tony D's got some power to him, not like Oba Femi, like Braun Breaker level kind of power, but he could definitely put up a good fight against Oba, and we could have a really good match there. All right, so the women's title matches. The women's North American title, Kalani Jordan's defending against Evil Wendy Chu. I'm not too thrilled about it because Wendy Chu, it's tough to get invested in a heel character when they don't speak. And it's like Wendy Chu, like the only time she speaks is when she uses social media. She doesn't speak on camera with her whole heel persona that she's got going on right now. So I'm sure it'll be a fine match, but that one's like not too hyped about that. I'm looking forward to Jada Parker, Roxanne Perez. I think that could definitely kick some ass. Will we see some people return after that match is over? I will not be surprised. We'll see. And then we got the main event, NXT title, Ethan Page defending against Joe Hendry from TNA with Trick Williams as a special guest referee. There's going to be a lot of shenanigans in that match. It's like, especially with Trick as a special guest referee. Because he's looking to try to get back in the title picture. Joe Hendry on NXT said that if he wins the title, he will give Trick the first dibs if he wins the title. So, and plus he doesn't like Ethan Page. It's like, and then Pete Dunne is hovering around because he's coming after Trick. So, and he wants the NXT title as well. So I'm expecting some lot of shenanigans in this match, and it'll probably be fun. Fans are going to love it because they love Joe Hendry, but be prepared to disappoint. It's like Joe Hendry fans, he's not going to win the NXT title as much as you like it. It's like he's going to get the TNA title sometime soon. They're not going to hold that off for too much longer.
Of course.
He's so over. When you got a guy this over, eventually you got to pull the trigger. But like I was upset at first that he didn't win at Slammiversary in the six-way match, but now seeing what they're doing with him in NXT, it made sense. You don't want your TNA champion to be jobbing when you're on NXT.
Did you not? I don't know if you watched the show with me and Bobby, whatever we do on Saturday night. I've been telling people this, and people were calling me crazy. It made perfect sense to give it to Nemeth
because I was like, you and me on the same wavelength on that one.
Yeah, it was perfect. So I'm glad this all worked out. I would not. This is a true fact, everyone. I would not be caring about NXT if Joe Hendry wasn't there. I would not care. I wouldn't care. It would have never got me to go watch it or to look up. It would have never got me there.
It's crazy. He's one of the most over people on NXT right now, and he doesn't even go there. It's
Yeah, I know. He's the most over person in wrestling. Like, period.
Mm-hmm.
I got people in my
the
group
whole
chat.
fans are going like this.
Yeah, well, I got
people.
I got people in my fantasy football group chats that don't even watch wrestling sending me Joe Hendry memes because
that's how it's like he's getting into the pop culture. It's like for people who may not even be big wrestling fans.
Yeah.
It's like people are fine. It's like they're knowing who Joe Hendry is. Wow. It's like that's when you know someone's really getting over is that they're they're seeping into the pop culture. Yeah, I've seen like NFL players doing stuff, making Joe Hendry references.
Just sign him. Just NXT. I don't on NXT. TNA. Let him go.
I heard he's still got a good amount of time left on his TNA contract, but I would not be surprised if Triple H and them make a play to bring him over to WWE when his contract at TNA runs up. They're definitely going to do that with Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace has already said her contract in TNA expires in January. They're going to try to grab her. The way that they presented her on TV, she's awesome. That would be a huge
easy win. Yep.
Yeah. So, all right. So that's what's going to happen this weekend. We'll see how things play out. So, yep, we hit just about the 2-hour mark here. So we're going to wrap things up here. Josh Kimmel, thank you so much for joining me tonight to talk wrestling. Really appreciate it with regular Josh out. Really appreciate you stepping in. You and Bobby over at Talk Wrestling and Finstock Night, where you guys have been really good friends. Really appreciate the help and support. So thanks a lot for being here. Tell people, plug your show, tell people where they can find you and everything.
Oh, boy. If you like fantasy football, OUS Fantasy, Wednesday nights on the Finstock Sports Network. I talk wrestling 2 nights a week, Thursday and Saturday night. And then that's where you can find me. I'm not on social media anymore. I quit. You guys made me quit. All of you. Sickos.
I know social media is really rough, man. It's like I try to I don't speak too much on it. It's like I just follow just because it's like I try to avoid the nastiness. It's ugly out there. But yeah, it's like so. Yep, definitely, you guys check out Finstock Sports. Real Talk Wrestling. Please do. It's like I check them out on Saturdays when I can watch the show. Hear what Josh and Bobby like to say. So yep, and for us, you can find us right here at Ruckus Entertainment, Ruckus Wrestling, patreon.com/RuckusEv. If you want to support the show, go ahead and join the Patreon. You can join the Discord where we talk wrestling and all kinds of other entertainment stuff. We're very friendly over there. It's like hopping in and join the fun. We appreciate the support. So once again, Josh, thank you very much for being here. Thanks to everyone watching. We will see you again next week. Enjoy the weekend.